Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to the video. Today I want to talk about something which will probably seem like heresy to at least some of you watching this, because I wanted to talk about times in Minecraft when diamond tools are not necessarily the best. That's right, sometimes it's actually better, or, more wise, to use an iron or, some other lower tool than it is to use a diamond one. And this is something that can seem kind of confusing on the surface, so I figured why not explain fully with today's video, because I bring it up every now and then, and people say like, no, Toycat, you're just a noob for not using diamonds all the time, despite having 100 diamonds. But truth be told, there are some situations where you do want to be using, lower stuff, and I figured why not explain what those are with today's video. So hopefully you do all enjoy it. Like the video if you do, because it helps out the channel, and lets know you do like this sort of video. Again, kind of explaining something a bit more complex than you might usually go through. But with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start with the first reason you might want to use iron over diamonds, which is for self-sustainability or self-sufficiency, or being able to replace your tools using your tools. Because if you're mining with an iron pickaxe, this mostly applies to the pickaxe versus the diamond pickaxe. If you're mining with an iron pickaxe, then you can actually replace your iron pickaxe, roughly every single time, because 1 in every 200 blocks is going to be an iron block, found pretty much anywhere, down below like Y53. So if you're mining anywhere, you're going to be able to replace your pickaxe by the time it's done, which is good stuff, because when you find that iron ore, it'll probably be a vein of at least 3. So you mine into it, you find your free iron, then you get another iron pickaxe, and so on and so forth. So yeah, if you're mining around, you're going to be able to replace your iron pickaxe, and you're going to be able to do so pretty handily, pretty reliably too. However, to replace your diamond pickaxe every single time that it runs out, what you need to be doing is you need to be mining below like Y15, because if you're not anywhere near the diamonds, then you have 0 diamonds coming to you, and that means at some point you'll have to switch over to the iron pickaxe, and you'll have wasted your diamonds on nothing. So yeah, the first point here is self-sustainability. If you want to be able to replace your tools using your tools, then make sure that you use an iron pickaxe, because this can replace itself anywhere below Y53, whereas this can only replace itself at the very specific diamond layers, and even then there's a little bit of risk involved, because even though it's like 1 every 1,000 blocks down there is like a diamond, it's still, you might not find one for 10,000 blocks, and then all your diamonds can be gone, whereas because iron is found more commonly, more layers and more stuff like that, you've just got a higher chance of being able to replace it, and that's something you might want to bear in mind, especially for the early game of Minecraft, because it's not quite so big a deal when you've got your, your fortune and you've got like 1,000 diamonds lying around, or 100 diamonds or whatever it is, but if you've got like 2 diamonds lying around, then maybe you should be a bit more careful. But with that said, let's move to the second reason you might want to do it, which is essentially the value of the items, because whenever you're making, let's use an example of the iron axe versus the diamond axe. When you're making a diamond axe, it's going to last for 6 times as long as an iron axe, which means what you're essentially doing every single time you decide to make a diamond tool versus an iron tool, so it's the same with a sword versus a sword, you're essentially deciding to use 18 iron versus 3 diamonds, or using 3 diamonds to save yourself 18 iron. So if you're in a world where you have so much iron and very few diamonds, then you should actually spend the the iron to kind of save yourself the diamonds, because you're essentially making this trade in your head every time. If you have so many diamonds, like thousands of diamonds, but you're running out of iron, always make diamond tools, never make iron tools. But if you're in the reverse situation, which I imagine a lot of people actually are, then you should be making iron tools, especially axes and shovels and stuff like that, where the difference is very minute, versus making diamond ones. So yeah, if you're making a shovel, then the trade is 6 iron for 1 diamond. Perhaps you should do that rather than saying, yeah, let's just make the diamond one anyway, because who can be bothered to repair it? That's kind of a key little thing that I figured would be worth mentioning. And the other thing about lower tools, so this one only really applies to gold, and you're realistically not going to be in a situation where this does make sense, but if you really wanted to, you can consider it like a trade of like 48 gold for every single diamond. If you wanted to, you can actually make a gold shovel instead of a diamond shovel, and this gold shovel or gold pickaxe in certain situations, every gold tool has places where it shines besides the gold axe, but yeah, basically if you use the gold shovel, it will mine faster than the diamond one, admittedly again by a very tiny margin, and you can barely even spot it. But if you look right here, the gold shovel's mining like this, whereas the diamond shovel is mining this fast. So you can see there's a little bit of a speed decrease here, which means that if you have a gold farm and you have literally stacks and stacks of gold lying around, then make yourself a bunch of golden shovels, and you can actually mine a little bit faster. I mean, admittedly, most of the time you're going to save is going to be offset by the time making new gold shovels, because this is all it took to destroy the shovel entirely, but still, it's something you can actually do. And the biggest situation where this is a really big help, although again, it realistically comes down to needing to make so many gold pickaxes, is this trade of a gold pickaxe versus a diamond pickaxe. So in this particular case, this is an efficiency 5 one, but if we had a regular one too, so we actually let's make one right now. So if we have a diamond pickaxe right now, that costs us 3 diamonds to make. However, if we wanted to, again, this is entirely ridiculous, I'm not recommending this, but if you wanted to, you could spend something like 100 gold instead of 3 diamonds. So I forgot to take the diamonds out, didn't I? Yep. If you wanted to, you could spend instead of having these 3 diamonds, you could spend about 80 gold making a bunch of different gold pickaxes, and the amount of speed increase here is really significant, because even though it's only like a doubling in the speed, that doubling in the speed means it goes below the instant break time, which means that it takes me that long to destroy blocks using a diamond pickaxe. But if I use a gold pickaxe, this is one of my favorite things to show off. It goes into the instant break time, which means I can do it literally this fast. So as fast as, stuff can happen, I can break the entirety of the thing, which is something kind of cool. And there's the pickaxe broken already. That's why you need so many of them. And that's why, realistically, this one won't come up too often, unless you really have so many gold and you really don't want to use iron. But it is a pretty cool way to mine netherrack, if you ask me. So, that's it. Let's move on to the next reason you might want to use, a different tool other than iron. And that is, other than diamonds. And that is when you find something in a chest that has enchantments on, or you're in a server where they give you enchantments, and you have to decide between, let's call it, diamond armor and enchanted iron armor. Most people look at this chest and they think, yep, this is the worst armor, then there's this, and then there's this. However, protection 4 on iron is way, way better than diamond. Like, again, even the numbers don't say it, oh, this is 6, that's 8, must go with this. The protection is just such a significant boost, and let me show you exactly what I mean by that. So first of all, let's take off this, let's put on full diamond armor. Again, this is unenchanted, but it's still diamond armor, right? So, and then let's fight ourselves a zombie. You're going to see how the zombie is going to do something like, let me calculate the damage in my head, roughly half a heart per hit. It'll be a little bit, more than that, I think, or a little bit less, I should say. But as you can see, he's going to hit me, and I'm regenerating pretty instantly, so we'll have to wait for that to go down. But you should actually see how, like, okay, there we go. So he's doing half a heart damage, and then it's just coming back. So pretty much every hit is half a heart. I think every now and then it should be not half a heart, but still, he's dealing half a heart pretty much every hit, which isn't big, right? Like, oh no, half a heart, however will I live? However, if you compare that to our iron armor, then this should do even less damage. So we have to kind of replace this as we go along, because I've got a very full inventory. But yeah, if we replace this right now, as you can see, this is iron armor. It looks weaker. I look like I'm an Iron Man instead of a Diamond Man, and therefore I'm going to die. However, now look at the damage that's being done instead. So as opposed to half a heart every hit, it should be half a heart every other hit, maybe even slightly less than that, actually. So no damage, damage, no damage, oh wait, and then damage. So as you can see, every other hit is doing damage, which means that this is about a 50% damage reduction over diamonds, which is entirely counterintuitive for a lot of people, but you got to bear in mind, the enchantment, from Protection 1 to Protection 4 is kind of like the difference between having leather plus your diamond armor, or having, diamond plus diamond, because when you have, it gives you an 80% additional protection, which means, essentially, when I'm wearing this armor, I'm wearing iron armor as well as the diamond armor, whereas when I wear the unenchanted diamond, I'm just wearing, diamond armor. So, yeah, there's a fun fact you might not have known about armor, and I helped myself a lot to do that. So let's go right up to max health and talk about the few final situations where, you might want to be doing this, because the next one here is actually going to be enchantability. So enchantability is a kind of tricky, concept that I think you don't really necessarily need to understand in Minecraft, but it will help you out anyway. So let's go through it, because basically, it's the amount of your odds of getting a good enchantment when you're enchanting something. So most people would assume that your best enchantments are going to be put onto diamond, and then iron, and then stone, and then gold, and then maybe wood after that. However, the really interesting thing is these don't actually go like this at all. So you might know that gold gives you better enchantments than diamond, but what you might not know after that is the fact that iron has really good enchantability, so a little bit above your diamonds, but stone has really bad enchantability, and then wood has a little bit more than iron even. For some bizarre reason, that changes with the tools, and it seems like they just made up random variables to make it seem kind of random. But basically, if I enchant this gold sword or this iron sword, I'm going to get way better results on average every single time than if I enchant the diamond sword, which will give me better results on average than if I enchant the stone sword. Let me show you what I mean by that, because it's kind of hard for me to just say, oh yeah, trust me, these are better. Let's give you some real examples. So even though this is going to be level 1 enchantments, they'll be roughly the same, but you might notice, or you should notice if everything goes according to plan, okay, so we got a breaking and sharpness for the gold right here, and then on the diamond one, and then the iron one, sorry, which is me next, we've got unbreaking, we've got sharpness. I think it's going to be unbreaking and sharpness, all of them actually. And then on this one over here, you can see it's smite and sharpness, which are, smite is a lower level enchantment, and then on the stone one, finally, we've got smite and sharpness again. So that kind of proves a point. It doesn't prove a very good point, but if we go to a higher level enchantment table, which, let's do that right now, actually. So let's walk through the Let's Play world. Let's walk past my note blocks, which, if you're curious, they play like the Lost Woods, but like kind of poorly. It's something I've been meaning to fix properly, but yeah, let's walk all the way through the world, and let's go over to my other enchantment table, because that should give you a slightly better idea, again, assuming everything goes according to plan, because, the gold one has access to higher level enchantments. You can get like efficiency 5 or sharpness 5 or unbreaking 3 in this case, whereas our, an iron sword is going to give us a little bit lower than that, so exactly the same stuff, actually? Is this going to be the exact same thing where, like, oh yeah, it's just a... Okay, there you can see it for sure there. It's a very, very tiny difference, but it's just the difference between sharpness 2 and sharpness 1, but everything else is exactly the same, so it's a very minor point to prove. But if you have an iron, if you want to get efficiency 5, or sharpness 5, or you want to get silk touch, or something like that, you know, you want to get one of these enchantments on your tools, then you've got a slightly better chance of doing it with a gold tool, or an iron tool, than you do with a diamond tool, which is something a lot of people might not figure. So anyway, yeah, however, you got to bear in mind the enchantment has about 1/6 the value on iron, because obviously it lasts for 1/6 as long. But still, it's a trade-off you can make to get really good enchantments. So yeah, to kind of conclude today's video, what are the situations you shouldn't be using diamond in? If you want to be self-sustainable, you shouldn't be using diamonds, at least unless you're mining at diamond layer. If you want to break blocks faster, diamonds aren't necessarily always the way, despite seeming like they should be. There's a bunch of different examples, like, you know, enchantment tables are way faster broken with gold pickaxes for no particularly good reasons. But yeah, if you want to do anything like that, then, you know, gold will be your way. If you want enchant, then gold is your way, and then maybe iron. And also, if you add enchantments to something, enchanted iron, if you find it in a chest, you know, or like in your entities, is going to be better than diamonds. Again, as counterintuitive as that may sound. So I hope you did all enjoy this video. Hopefully you learned something in there about why you should be using diamonds instead of gold, gold instead of diamonds. I don't know why I get that mixed up, so obviously, but hopefully you'll enjoy it regardless. Like the video if you did, because it helps out the channel a lot. Let us know you do like this sort of video, share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.